Welcome back to another daytime video. Today we're going to be discussing Yamato joining Luffy's crew. Let's be real here. 90% of the fan base is pretty much on board with Yamato joining. But the real question becomes, once she joins, what is her place going to be? What is her position in the crew? And where does she sit amongst the monster trio? Especially with Jinbei being the latest addition to the Straw Hats. Alright, so without further ado, let's hop right into today's Reddit thread. So first up we have, if Yamato joins, Zoro and Sanji will surpass her. See, funny enough, even though Yamato has COC, even though she fought Kaido one-on-one and has a mythical Zoan fruit, there's some weird part of me, maybe it's fanboyism, but there's some weird part of me that feels like Zoro and Sanji right now might still be stronger than her, even just by a little bit. Like I said, it could just be me coping, but it does leave a really weird taste in my mouth to have Yamato join the crew and presumably not just be stronger than Sanji, but Zoro as well. So let's get into what this theory says. It says, before Alabasta arc began, Vivi said that the male agents at Baroque Works were partnered with a female agent who was similar to them in terms of strength, meaning Robin was relative to Crocodile in strength since she was his partner. That's a little bit crazy. That's a crazy assumption, saying that Nico Robin was relative to Crocodile when Crocodile beat the heck out of her at the end of Alabasta. So this guy says, which also means Robin was stronger than Zoro and Sanji. Whoa! What is this power scaling? What do you guys think about this? This is kind of crazy. Alabasta Robin was stronger than Zoro and Sanji. Maybe Sanji because he wouldn't be able to fight her, but let's be real here. Alabasta Zoro cutting Robin in half. I'm just gonna say it right there. I'm not even a Zoro fanboy. And I can gladly say Zoro would probably cut Robin in half in Alabasta after he finds out how to defeat her Devil Fruit, of course. I mean, I feel like that's always a shock factor. In Water 7, Frankie fought evenly with Luffy and defeated a Cyber Pole trainee, while Sanji fought an old chef in noodle armor. Meanwhile, Zoro was stuck in a chimney. What does this have to do with anything? In Fishman Island, Jinbei fought evenly with Luffy. He even mocked Luffy's strength during their little scuffle. And at some point, Zoro and Sanji were obviously weaker than their captain. Oh, I see. He's making the point that even if they fight equally with Luffy, they eventually get power scaled and Zoro and Sanji surpass them. See, the thing with Water 7, though, is Luffy could have defeated Frankie in Water 7. After he beat up Usopp, Luffy would have stomped Frankie. They did not have a full-fledged fight. That's my one problem with this one right here. But I get what he's getting at. Everybody Luffy fights with evenly, they eventually get surpassed by Zoro and Sanji. So I see the point he's making, and I do agree with that. In spite of that all, Zoro and Sanji surpassed all of them, and by noticeable margins. Yamato will be no different. I'm not saying it's good writing, but it goes to show that Oda clearly cares about this dynamic and will do a lot to preserve it. I honestly think he did a lot to preserve it in the latest chapters, where he named Sanji and Zoro the wings of the Pirate King. They say wings, like unless Luffy has like 10 different wings, that is reserved for Zoro and for Sanji. There's no room for Yamato or Jinbei. They're going to be very close in terms of power. They're going to be like the monster quartet, but they will not be Zoro and Sanji. There's a reason why he's postponed Jinbei joining the crew numerous times. Anytime the monster trio appears to be coming to an end, Oda is always there to remind us that it isn't going anywhere. I'm excited. I am excited for Yamato to join because we have all these big crews, right? We have Big Mom's crew, we have Kaido's crew, and they have their Yonko commanders. And it's always around 3 people. So we have Luffy at the top. I see it being Zoro, Sanji, Yamato, and then Jinbei being the helmsman and kind of like the captain of all the ones below him. Which, to be fair, I know Luffy's crew does not run like that. Luffy does not look at his crewmates and says, hey, Jinbei, go boss Usopp around. He doesn't say that. So it's kind of like an understood thing. They're all really good friends, but if there was a hierarchy of strength, I think that would be the hierarchy right there. So moving on, I have another one here talking about Yamato. It says how I want Yamato to join. Before everything, this is my first post here, and I've just recently gotten into this series, so please, if there's something wrong, please be kind. I'm not going to talk about Carrot versus Yamato argument. I have a lot of reasons I think Yamato will join and Carrot won't, but I don't want to focus on that now. I just want to share a little theory - a little moment that I would like to happen for the moment in which Yamato will be accepted into the crew. My personal dream scenario would go like this. Before anything, I would like if Kaido flashback, there could be a brief moment where Kaido seems disappointed in Yamato and tells her something implying he thinks she is worthless. After the battle, Yamato is free to go everywhere she wants, but she wants to sail with Luffy, so she asks Luffy if she can go with him. Luffy at the beginning says no, and Yamato starts crying, and then Luffy says this, "You know, I don't want Oden joining, but Yamato joining sounds fun." Then Yamato screams something like, "I am Yamato," or something like that. I think that'd be really wholesome. Because Yamato has this weird Oden complex right now, and I feel like it's a gag, but it's a gag that I don't want to last throughout the whole series if she joins Luffy's crew. So I agree. I feel like the Oden situation has to be addressed at some point. I know she already considers herself to be Yamato, but this way I think the Oden identity crisis would be wrapped up in a nice way, and this would give her a lot of character. Kaido always made Yamato feel useless and worthless, and when she saw Oden, a person who everyone loved, she tried to be that person in order to become someone that people loved. But now, she has found a group of people that will love her for who she really is, and she can accept her true identity with them. I personally like it this way. Maybe it's a little bit strange and has some inconsistencies with the writing of the series, but I'm far from being Oda, and I think this is cool. I agree. I think this is really cool, and actually I do think and agree that this is something Oda would do. Oda usually addresses all problems a character has before they join the crew and just have fun with themselves. And that's, I mean, it works. It works. And the last one I want to talk about is about Yamato's backstory. Ever since she was 8, everyone who was nice to her was killed and executed. This detail is actually so tragic. Pair this with Kaido's line in 1025 where he says, "You have always lived alone on this island for years. Hopping about the rocks, crawling through the attics, always alone." These lines gave me major Spandam type lines from Eni's lobby. Yamato also saying things like "she has friends" into "she had friends" was depressing. Plus the samurai sacrificing themselves for her, Yamato making a friend that comes from overseas being Ace, and then Ace later being revealed to be dead. Imagine how devastating Ace's death must have been, solidifying the idea of another line from Kaido in 1025. "And everyone who has ever shown favor to you is dead." That's just so tragic. Yet, Yamato is so effing hopeful. She held on to hope for 20 years. She has been waiting for the new era of pirates as prophesized from Oden's journal for all these 20 years. Waiting for Luffy for 2 years after hearing about him from Ace. That's why one of her first lines when she is introduced was such a simple line, but with so much depth. Chapter 983. "I've been waiting for you. Waiting for a very long time." Yeah, that has a lot of impact. Because she's been waiting for someone to free her from those shackles. And also, Ace promised Yamato that he would take her out to sea and that he would free her from those chains, but he never had the chance to fulfill his promise. And now with Luffy being in Wano, he is the next best person to carry on Ace's will. And personally, if Yamato were to join, people were wondering, what is she going to do? How is she going to benefit the crew? Jinbei's the helmsman, you have Chopper, who's the doctor, Sanji the cook, and Zoro, the guy that gets lost all the time. What will Yamato do? I feel Yamato already has a perfect job for herself, which is making a journal and handing it down to the next generation, just like what Oden did. That is a great way to carry on his spirit without actually being him, to create your own identity and to write about your own adventures while you're out to sea. And we need somebody like that on the crew to just have a logbook so that once Luffy and his crew's adventures are over, somebody can pick up that book and say, wow, these pirates were amazing. And who knows, maybe even one day in a sequel somewhere, we will have somebody find that book and say, I am Luffy and I will become king of the pirates just like he did. Like I said earlier, 90% of you guys, including myself, believe that Yamato will join the crew. It's too heavily set up. There's too many nuances about the writing so far that just hint towards the fact that Yamato will join. But there's that small 10% of you that do not believe it. And I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why. The main reason is the Yamato versus Carrot. I don't understand why people think Carrot will join the Strawhats. Yes, she has a lot of good dynamics with the crew, but at the end of the day, she is with the Minks, and I can only see her returning back to Zou, and I could see Zou becoming part of Luffy's pirate alliance. But Yamato is different. She's an outlier. She doesn't fit in to a specific group, and the group that people do put her in is the group with Momonosuke and the Scabbards. But the thing is that she does not know Momonosuke. She does not know how to run Wano, and she's not even friendly with the Scabbards. So Yamato really has no place in ruling Wano. And people say, oh, Momonosuke needs an advisor. He needs Yamato to show him Oden's way with that journal that she's been reading all this time. But why not have Kinemon? Why not have the Akazaya 9 help Momonosuke become a proper shogun? You don't need Yamato for that job. Yamato is free to go wherever she wants. And not to mention, she's mentioned multiple times how she wants to set out to sea. And after reading Oden's journal, would you not want to see everything he wrote about with your own eyes, and to create your own adventures, and to wonder and realize what that final page that Oden wrote was about? What is Laugh Tale? What was so funny? And why did he rip out that final page? All right, so now moving on to one of my favorite parts of these videos, time to look at the comments. This one goes back to the very first one we read, and this guy says, Robin wasn't partnered with Crocodile because of her strength, but because of her relevance concerning the big plan and Pluton. Yes, thank you, somebody said it. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe he said that Robin is the same strength as Crocodile. That is crazy. Robin had no fights in Alabasta, and then she got smacked by Crocodile in like 2 hits. Yeah, it was not that good, man. All right, what else do we have here? Robin, oh, another one. Robin was not partnered with Crocodile. He was the boss, and he had her with him because he needed the poneglyph. He was far, far stronger than her. I love the Crocodile hype, man. The Crocodile agenda is shining through. Considering she's Kaido's daughter, even with everything she has done to help overthrow Kaido, Wano citizens wouldn't accept her to help Momo if she was somewhat willing to stay, which she doesn't. Just look at Udon prisoners' reaction when they learned that Luffy was a pirate after his speech about their slave conditions. Thankfully, Momo was there to calm the spirits, but here, considering she's the daughter of the man who killed Oden and enslaved Wano citizens, I can't possibly see her staying in Wano. That's what I'm saying. Nobody would want that. Nobody would want Yamato to be in Wano. You saw Momonosuke's reaction. It literally was just animated. When Yamato was like, hey, by the way, I am Kaido's daughter, Momonosuke ran for the woods, bro. He was hiding away from her. He was apologizing, like, I'm so sorry, like, please don't hurt me. Like, nobody is going to like the idea of Yamato being in Wano. You could say that after a while, people will warm up to her. After they overthrow Kaido, people will say, okay, you know what? Yamato might not be a bad person, but it's not worth the effort to try and change their feelings if you really just want to go out to sea anyways. Yes, I too want to have another parallel with how Oden joined Whitebeard. That Luffy at first rejects her, and then in the end he accepts her. It's a good theory that Yamato needs to be her own person for Luffy to accept her. Another cool thing about this though is if you look at how Wano is structured, if you actually notice where Yamato is going all throughout this whole arc, she has not once met another Straw Hat. You see Straw Hats catch glimpses of Yamato. You hear people saying, oh, you know, young Master Yamato's over there. And then Sanji's like, wait, who's that? Who's that person? And then you see Robin and Brook running one direction, then Yamato going the opposite direction. They're purposely avoiding contact. Oda is purposely drawing this invisible barrier in between the Straw Hats and Yamato, because I bet that by the end of Wano, by the end of Onigashima, Yamato is going to have a really huge moment, and at the same time, all of the Straw Hats are going to see who Yamato truly is. You're 100% right. It's so weird how so many people just focus on her boobs or other superficial nonsense and claim she has no character while simultaneously ignoring what has been presented of her so far. This reason and more is why she's most likely to join the crew post Wano. That, and she straight up already asked. That is true. She literally said, hey, let me set sail with you, Luffy, please. Please. I've seen her whole character is just A so many times, and it's BS. Personally, I don't mind the boobs or other superficial nonsense. I have my preferences. Oh my gosh. But I think it's stupid to deny that she has a relatively well done personality. I like her personality a lot. I think it would mesh very well with the crew. She's adventurous. She wants to see a lot of other things. It's like having a female Luffy on the crew. Imagine they see like an island on fire, right? Here, let me switch the camera. Imagine in the distance, they're on the Thousand Sunny. They see an island on fire. You have all of the crew saying, hey, let's not go there. That looks dangerous. And then you know Luffy's gonna be like, no, let's actually go check it out. And now behind Luffy, You have Yamato, who wants to explore the world, saying, wow, that looks like a lot of fun. That's what I'm saying, like Yamato would make such a good dynamic in the crew. Also, this is going to be really cringy to say, but we have Robin, we have Nami, they're really strong female characters, right? But at the end of the day, they lean more towards the feminine side. Now we have Yamato, also another strong female character, but someone who leans more on the masculine side because of her upbringing with Kaido. I think it would be a really good dynamic. I think it'd be a unique character, and it would just be a lot of fun in general. And especially with Luffy potentially becoming a Yonko after this arc, or, you know, up there with the Yonkos, he needs some very strong members. He already has them, but what's the harm in having one more strong member? And also, I recently made a video about Blackbeard and how he has been gathering a lot of strong crewmates with conflicting personalities who don't necessarily respect him. It would be nice to have Luffy's crew be the exact opposite. A lot of powerhouses, but they all get along together. They're all Nakama, the very opposite of Blackbeard's crew. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please consider liking, subbing, and everything down below. We just passed 9,700 subs, so it would mean a lot if you guys were to help me on this adventure to 10,000. And if you have been supporting this channel, like I said, it really does mean a lot. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Sai, signing out.